Coach, just jumping right into the middle of Valley Conference play by taking on Wichita. So.
It's what it feels like when you're playing your rival. It's pretty cool to get started with this team.
Isn't it weird that they're not in the conference, but the history, you've been there the whole 9 yards?
Yeah, I think for us it's still a really good game to have on our schedule, and I think we're excited to keep that. Last year we played them a home and home. This year we're over there. Next year they'll come here. So I think it's a really good series. It's a rivalry series, so it's good to keep.
And the fans absolutely love Wichita State. They love to hate the Shockers.
Yeah, again, I think everybody enjoys the rivalry. Everybody gets into it. Our players understand it's still a rivalry, even though we're not in the same conference anymore, and obviously our fans do. The Missouri State matchup, I think, is a really good game to have on the schedule. I think for our fans, their fans, the state, our players, both teams' players, I think it's just really good to be able to play an in-state rival like Mizzou, and obviously they're ranked and doing well, so it's also a good game to have on our schedule in that regard.
And it helps that Robin was a Valley coach that understands the Valley and respects the Valley a little bit.
I have a lot of respect for Robin and what she's done and how she has continued to keep us on that schedule with them. And I do think her knowledge and experience in the Valley gives her a great understanding of our basketball conference and how important it is to have those type games. We do have a young team, and I was just in my office working on our scouting report and really trying to dial some things down, simplifying a few things. Maybe some simple actions that haven't made the scouting report in the last couple of years are definitely back on the scouting report, trying to make sure that we're prepared. I think we'll play hard. And I think we understand what we need to do when you get out there and the action gets going and the lights are going and there's competition. Things get going really fast and mistakes get made. But I love our team, and we just have to go over there, play hard, and hope we execute. I think the newness is refreshing, and you don't get in a rut. You go back and you're doing some things you hadn't done in a while, and as a coach and as a program and as a staff, really. But I think sometimes when you have a large freshman class, just the energy, the innocence, you're explaining everything. You're explaining how you're getting on the bus, for a road trip. Everything is new to a lot of our players, and I think it's a lot of fun. At times it's a little slow trying to piece things together, but it's a great group, and they're talented, but they really pick things up quickly.
How much do you feel like you're going to be leaning on Danielle and Alexis from a scoring perspective, early on at least, as players get acclimated?
Yeah, I think early on, probably even as we go, I think Alexis is going to be a go-to scorer for us. We're going to look to her to get shots up. I think Danielle is going to be just somebody we're going to lean on for a lot of things: offensive, defense, rebounding. So I think the others will come along. We still have Emily Gartner had a lot of minutes. Bryce Caleb had a lot of minutes last year. Ellie Ruffridge, Abby Hipp. So I think we've got some players that have minutes under their belt that will be poised in a competitive situation. But those veterans definitely going to be leading the way with some talented freshmen. Yeah, I think there's a couple different things, and we want to schedule so that we will eventually be the best basketball team we can be. And I think that's challenging ourselves early. I think we've seen that in the past few years. We've seen a lot of growth. We're playing our best basketball late in the season, which is always a good thing. And then also, if you're good enough, if your team is good enough to get an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament, they have to have the schedule that will get them in. And we typically schedule to get ourselves in the tournament if we are good enough.
This is the way the Lady Bears do it, right? That's what you tell them?
This is how the Lady Bears do it.
Can you talk just a little bit about the tough early schedule? You got Wichita State, then you got Mizzou. Just talk a little bit about playing these kind of teams so early.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less. I've grown to accept it over the years here. Kelly and the coaching staff does it every year, and in the end, I think it only really makes us better, Play the tough games in the beginning, and then when you get to conference, you're ready for it.
How important is the Mizzou game for someone like yourself who, were in the recruiting wars and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's a good environment. It's one you always want to go and play good at. So I think it's going to be good for the whole team, really. It's only going to make us better in the end, and hopefully we come up with a good outcome. Yeah, I think definitely since I'm an upperclassman now, they look up to me a lot, but I just have really been reinforcing, they should have the confidence too. Like, I'm going to be there. You should have the confidence in me, but, they can do it too. So it's going to be, I think, a full force.
That was fast being an upperclassman, right?
Yeah. I was like, wow, that flew by. Like one of my teachers the other day asked me my age, and I was like, wow, not old? What? When did this happen?
Just wait.
Yeah.
What about playing with the youngsters? I mean, are they coming along? Do you recognize yourself in them a little bit?
Oh, no, yeah, I've seen so much progress in all of them, and it's great to see them, how they've come along. They all bring something different to the table, something that since I've been here we haven't had, and I think it's really just going to help push us forward and be more competitive in the end.
What is that?
Well, they're long, athletic. There's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of feistiness. They're not afraid to get in the middle of it, which I think is great. We need that. And they just bring a lot of energy.
One of the toughest adjustments a lot of young players make at this level is on the defensive end. So how much have you and Danielle specifically been kind of anchoring that side of things, making sure everyone's in the right spot and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just communication, I think. It's just the big deal right now because you just got to know where everybody's at. It's not about just focusing on one man now. You have to know the whole court, help defense. So it's just making sure they know where they're supposed to be. And the coaches are doing a great job of that, just going over that every day. And it's just talking about it. They're not used to that. You just got to get used to communicating all the time.
Is that the biggest area you've grown defensively here?
Oh yeah, I think just being more vocal, and it's, I think communicating and then also just listening. Like when I first got here, I would talk, but then I just never heard what anybody else was saying because I was so in the zone with what I was doing. But now as I've gotten older, I know to talk and listen.
There's been a lot of talk just about, the men started here,
Yeah.
and you guys just ready to get a game in?
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Getting the lights on.
Yeah,
play.
they hit their game the other night, and I was like, dang, I want to go already. But it's going to be fun. It'll be here before you know it, and just trying to embrace every moment.